Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Hope you had a great week. Today's video is going to be a short one because I'm presently a little bit under the weather and I'm also waiting on some spare parts. Let's dive right into it. When I bought the car, it came with some seat covers, and after taking them off, I realized that the clips for the rear bench were broken. I'm referring to these, one on each side. So I just got them replaced. Here's one of the new ones I got. It's pretty straightforward replacing it. It's just that getting them out can be quite tedious to do because you don't have access to the tabs, these tabs right here. So you need to sneak in there with either a pick or some tool. The first one took me about 2 hours. The second one took me a lot shorter. Took me about 20 minutes. So here it is. So if you want to take your rear bench out on this kind of car, you simply pull forward and pull the bench up. Not pushing him. Pull away from the seat and lift the bench up. So got 2 of them replaced. I'm yet to install the rear bench because I want to do some cleaning under there. So on to the next thing. Here's the next thing. My loyal subscribers that recognized what's different about this instrument cluster, and it's right there. It no longer reads 20 kilometers per hour when the vehicle isn't moving at all. So I got that resolved. To get it resolved, I had to take out the whole instrument cluster assembly, 2 screws up top to remove the frame around it, and then taking off the hose and the electrical connection on the lower right for the automatic climate control. With the frame out, this is what we would have, and then taking out the 2 bolts below and the single screw at the top, move the cluster for the bit and disconnect the electrical connection. This is what we would have. Next, I took the instrument cluster indoors and carefully set it up on a table. Next, carefully pushing on the tabs surrounding the display, I removed the clear plastic shield covering the display and then carefully took out the needle on the speedometer like I'm showing here and carefully positioned it on the 0 position. I also used the opportunity to clean up the whole instrument cluster using a damp microfiber cloth. I'm guessing the issue originated from the instrument cluster being replaced sometime in the past. With the first test drive, I must admit that I wasn't really impressed with the performance of the vehicle at all. In fact, I can say categorically that the advances would leave this vehicle full in the dust, and it's meant to be the opposite. So I decided to dig deeper and check out the timing components, and I wasn't surprised. When I took everything apart yesterday, I found out the timing belt was loose, and then after turning it a bit, everything got tighter. So that told me one thing, that the tensioner was likely faulty because that's what keeps the belt tight. So tearing everything apart, you can see a lot of oil and grease and dirt everywhere. So I'll be taking off the tensioner and removing the belt and cleaning the whole place thoroughly. So let me give you a view from down there. Yeah. So this is what we have. It's really nasty. And also this would point me in the right direction as to where we have an oil leak. So after cleaning with the pressure washer, here's what I got. Next, I ensure that the idler pulley, the tensioner pulley, and the water pump spun freely, and they all checked out. While taking out the tensioner, which is hydraulic, that I'm pointing at right now, I noticed the upper bolt was stripped, and I couldn't get it to tighten at all. So I plan to use a helicoil to fix that issue. After reinstalling the timing belt into its proper position, I realized that the belt wasn't very tight on this end. As you can see, it moves on slightly, so I believe the timing belt is a little bit stretched. I ran the engine for a couple of minutes in this condition or state and noticed that the oil filter housing was still leaking from around here, and also the crank seal behind this gear was also leaking, and that definitely explained why we had a lot of grit and dirt all in this area previously before I did the cleaning. So the goal now is to replace the two crank seals, both the front and the rear main seal, and also replace the gasket behind this, which I did earlier on, with a higher quality one. So that should resolve all the oil leaks. Next, I checked out all the spark plugs on the engine to even determine their condition, because all this while I hadn't taken a peek at them. And here's what I found. All the 6 spark plugs were matching. They looked old, but they looked to be in decent condition enough for the engine to perform very efficiently and powerfully. So that will come to the end of this video. If you're new on here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, remember to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. Remember to share the video with your friends and loved ones. And also leave a comment. I like to read from every one of you. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video. Stay safe.